Jeddah was. They fell in love. They couldn't be together because they had the same skin name. Through law that was forbidden, but they went ahead with it anyway. They found themselves in a sticky situation because they broke customary law. They had the tribe after them. So Marbach stole Jeddah from the station, took her out into country, and they ran, and they faced bigger problems. Okay, because he stole Jeddah from the station, he also had pastoral owners and stockmen after them as well. So not only do they have spears after them, they've got guns after them. They came to a stop at the top of that cliff back there, and Marbach pretty much said, if I can't be with Jeddah, nobody else can. He picked up Jeddah, and they jumped off that cliff to their final death. That was the first Australian movie to be made in colour. It was also the first Australian movie to star Indigenous actors, so there's some history there. Finally, up in the 13th gorge, and as he rested, he heard the sound of the cicadas going nit 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 nit. He decided to call this place Nitmiluk. But while Nitmiluk was resting, he'd fallen asleep, and little did Nitmiluk know, Wallach the cave bat, Garakan the black kite, Wok Wok the crow, Lumbuk the pigeon, and Barai the kookaburra had all followed Nitmiluk across country because they wanted that dilly bag all to themselves. Plenty of fresh water to drink, plenty of fire sticks for that cold season, the dry season this time of the year. Nor was their perfect opportunity to strike when they saw the great hunters sleeping. So Wallach the cave bat, a very cunning creature, bit of a sneaky creature, snuck up with a stone-tipped spear and speared Nitmiluk. Not only did the spear kill Nitmiluk, but the spear pierced the dilly bag. Of course, all the water flowed out and filled up the 13 gorges. That's the river they're travelling on today. Fire sticks, a river pandanus trees that you see along the riverbanks, and they're the ones with the sharp-edged leaves. They kind of look like the tops of pineapples, and we'll be passing some on the right-hand side. So. 658 million years old, give or take a day. Of course, the gorges of Nitmiluk had formed about 120 million years ago. Just imagine one massive sandstone block from here to Kakadu. It was all connected at some point in time. There was a massive inland river delta system. Over time, sand sediments and rocks accumulated and compacted, which layer upon layer formed as sedimentary and conglomerate rock. Due to tectonic movement in the base rock, it caused the rock to rest. When it rested, it fractured at 90-degree angles. That's why every turn that we do in the second gorge is a perfect 90-degree right-angle turns, but it also fractured at angles to each other in a crisscross sort of fashion. If you look at the gorge from a bird's eye view, one massive sandstone block of chocolate with all the different fracture lines running through the rock, well, it's kind of what it looks like.
The view first.
Fingers crossed. Come on, Madge.
Yeah. Whoa. 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 Oh, it's wonderful, man. I think it's such a good. Whee!
Freshwater, it means that we have a great variety of aquatic life in here. There's over 42 different species of fish. There's 3 different species of turtle, and we've got mainly freshwater crocodiles in here. In Jawan language, freshwater crocodiles are called goyamba. They're also known as the Johnson River crocodile. They can grow to 3.5 metres, 2.5 to 3 metres for a female. When they're at that 2.5 to 3 metre mark, they sit at about 50 to 60 years of age. They've got a decent lifespan. They can live up to 100. You can live with, well, you can swim with freshwater crocodiles. They can't possibly eat us. This is because of their jaw structure. They've got a long, narrow, skinny jaw structure, very fine, thin, fragile teeth. They can only really eat what they can swallow whole. This is why 60% of a freshwater crocodile's diet consists of insects. The other 40% file snakes, fish, water birds, and occasionally the very, very small wallaby that comes down to the river to get a drink of water. The only time a freshwater crocodile would attack a person is if that person physically tried to touch that freshwater crocodile. So if you saw it laying up on a sandy bank, you went up, gave it a hug, kiss, pat, try and take a selfie with it, it's probably going to bite you. Probably not the brightest thing to do, hey. What you do is keep your distance, take a few photos and make your way on. Well, that's what most normal people do anyway. Freshwater crocodiles will lay their eggs on the beautiful sandy beaches that you've seen throughout the gorge, and they'll lay their eggs about 18 to 20 centimetres into the sand. About 20 to 30 eggs in each hole. If we went up onto those sandy beaches during nesting time, one of our footprints could possibly wipe out the entire nest. In about 2 weeks' time, you'll see signs on all the beaches that say "Do not enter, crocodile nesting." And it's very important that we stay off the beaches because the female freshwater crocodile, she does not guard her nest, so the eggs become vulnerable. So we don't need to contribute. They've got a pretty bad survival rate. You've got birds like your peregrine falcons, hawks, ospreys, black kites. They'll eat the eggs. You've also got crows, water monitors, sand monitors, goannas, and snakes that eat the eggs also. So let's just say she lays 20 eggs. Out of the 20 eggs, maybe only 8 will hatch. Out of the 8 that hatch, maybe only 4 will make it to the river. When they get to the river, this is their only interaction that they have with their mother when they enter the river. She'll either do 2 things, leave them on their own to fend for themselves, or she'll eat them. So out of the 4 that made it to the river, maybe only 1 or 2 survive. Not a great start to life, eh? Possibly be slapped with a $45,000 fine. The reason why it's so expensive, we used to have about 500 freshwater crocodiles in the gorge system. But since the cane toad had been introduced to the Northern Territory a while back, they've had a dramatic impact on the population of our crocodiles. We've only got about 150 to 200 left. Slowly building in numbers though. The sex of a freshwater crocodile is also determined by the temperature of the sand in that 3-month incubation period. 28 to 30 degrees, when the eggs hatch they will be female. 30 to 32 degrees, when the eggs hatch they'll be a mixture. Half the eggs will be male, half the eggs will be female. 32 to 34 degrees, when the eggs hatch they will be male. Anything over they will not survive. Saltwater crocodiles can make their way into river systems like this. It's usually during the wet season, when the river's over all the natural rock barriers. It's just one whole gorge in the wet because all the gorges are up into river systems like this to feed. Like I said, we've got a great variety of aquatic life that inhabits the gorge, so plenty of fish, turtle and crocodile for them to eat. So yes, your saltwater crocodiles, they will also eat your freshies. Of course though, this is fresh water. They are saltwater crocodiles. This is not the natural or preferred habitat for them, so eventually after they've been feeding, most of them usually turn around and make their way back out towards the sea. It does get a bit tricky for them though to get out of the gorge system in that short period of time that they've been feeding, because in that 2 months we've just gone from our wet season back to our dry season. The rivers drop back under the natural rock barriers, and the rock barriers act like dams trapping the saltwater crocodiles into the separate gorges. So after every wet season we have to do about 3 months worth of surveys on the river. So day and night croc spots driving boats up the river. We also fly helicopters into the gorge system, and we'll place traps in the separate gorges as well. One of those traps, it's coming up on the right hand side. It's usually baited with a part of an animal. Will it be pig or buffalo? We'll take them out of the river completely. We'll take them back to their natural and preferred habitat. But if they're big enough, we have to take them to either a zoo or a crocodile farm. After we finish our surveys on the river and we know for a fact that it's safe to go swimming, we'll open up this river for swimming and canoeing. So if you ever get the chance to come back, canoe the river, highly recommended.
We've got one of the best crocodile management programs in the country. Nobody has ever been taken by a saltwater crocodile here at Nitmiluk National Park. We work in partnership with not only Parks and Wildlife, but Jarwin Rangers as well. And they're the best people to have around because their ancestors have lived off these lands for many years. They know all about this place. And I think they've got a really great partnership with Parks and Wildlife.